Welcome to my beginner's JavaScript coding tutorial. Today I'll set up your coding environment, dive into essential tools, and even explore your browser's console. Let's get started. Before writing any code, we need to set up our environment. The good news is your computer likely already has what it takes to run JavaScript. However, to make your life easier, I recommend using an integrated development environment or IDE. An IDE is a powerful application that lets you write, run, and debug code all in one place. Think of it like your everyday word processor, just that here you're writing code. Most IDEs include features like syntax highlighting, where different elements of your code appear in different colors, making it easier to spot errors. They also offer code completion or autosuggest, which helps you write code faster and with fewer mistakes. While I often use Visual Studio Code, there are plenty of other options available, such as Sublime Text, Atom, Notepad++. When choosing an IDE, make sure it supports syntax highlighting, debugging, and code completion. Next up, your web browser. You'll need one to run your JavaScript code. Although most browsers will do the job, avoid using outdated ones like Internet Explorer. Instead, opt for modern browsers like Chrome, Google Chrome, or Firefox, which fully supports the latest JavaScript features and offer helpful debugging plugins. And I believe there's some really new browsers that are even better than Google Chrome and Firefox, so you should check that out. There are plenty of extra tools available. Browser plugins that help with debugging or enhance the appearance of your code. Some of them are Chrome Developer Tools, JavaScript Errors Notifier, React Developer Tools once you start getting into the React framework, which is based on JavaScript, and the Web Developer Chrome extensions. So those are good options to add to your browser, especially if you're using Google Chrome. And if you're on a tablet or can't install software, many online editors are available, such as CodePen. Just search for online JavaScript IDE and start coding instantly. Now let's talk about how the browser processes JavaScript. Unlike compiled languages, JavaScript is interpreted on the fly. This means the browser's engine reads and executes your code in real time. Remember, a web page isn't just JavaScript. It's built using three languages: HTML for content and structure, CSS for style, and JavaScript for behavior. So here's a quick HTML example that creates a page displaying hello world. So let's open Visual Studio Code, and I'm gonna paste. I'm gonna paste the following HTML code in Visual Studio Code. Just like that. I'm gonna open this file in my folders. Open it with Google Chrome. And it's going to show the following. As you can see, it says hello world. Let me zoom in a little bit. And if we open the inspector tools, which we're going to also talk about in a little bit, by going to the three dots, more tools, and then go all the way down to developer tools. And I'm on a Mac, so I can also use the keyboard to open the inspector tools by clicking on the keyboard Command-Shift-C. And if you're in a Mac, you can also use F12 on your keyboard. But here's the basic HTML that we wrote in the index.html file, as you can see. As you explore JavaScript, you'll hear about ECMAScript, the standardized version of the language. The current standard ES6 defines the core features that all JavaScript implementations support. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is the browser console. To open it, press F12 on Windows, or right-click and select Inspect on Mac OS. When you switch to the console tab, you can type and run JavaScript code on the fly. So let's try that example. So I'm going to open the inspector tools again, go over to the console tab. I'm going to write console.log, opening parentheses, opening quotes, hello world, exclamation, closing closing quote, closing parentheses, semicolon, click enter, and the output is hello world inside of the console tab. And there's other, so this is incredibly useful for debugging, and you can also use methods like console.table for tabular data and console.error for error messages. So if we search for console.table, and I like to use ChatGPT a lot for this. So for example, if we copy this, which ChatGPT just gave us, go back to the console tab, hit enter. It says console.table, and click enter. As you can see, a table appears with the different index and its values. So it's an array with 3 values. It's the first one, second one, and third one. That's how JavaScript and also on PHP, how the index numbering works. And there's also console.error. So let's see what ChatGPT gives us. So the console.error method in JavaScript outputs an error message to the web console. It's commonly used for debugging purposes, allowing developers to display error messages in the standardized format. Messages logged using console.error are typically styled different, often in red, to distinguish them from other log messages. So let's grab this example, go back, open the inspector tools, go to the console tab, copy and paste. As you can see, it's just a different color. Now it's in red, so you can identify it easily as an error message. So this is very useful when you're coding and you want to see the error messages, or you want to see the correct console. When you're debugging, you're testing out JavaScript, you want to see let's say you create an if-else statement, you want to see if it logs the correct information, or what information you get back from your JavaScript code that you just wrote, or if you get an error message. So we'll talk about that in other videos. Let's go back. So let's do a quick practice exercise. Open your browser console, type in the expression 4 plus 10 and press enter, and we'll see what result we get. Next, use console.log to print your name. Make sure you enclose your name in quotes like this, console.log, single quote or double quote, however you want. Let's give that a try. So let's go back and let's clear. You can click on this button, this symbol right here, and clear the console. Let's type in 4. So you can do arithmetic. 5 plus 10, click enter. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Console log Gustavo Amezcua. And that's what we get, right? So that's it for this introductory session. Today you learn how to set up your coding environment. You use an integrated development environment. You work with your browser. You can use Google Chrome, Firefox, or among many other browsers. I'm sure there's brand newer ones that don't have a heavy load on your operating system like Google Chrome does. Maybe I should consider switching browser, getting a new browser. And so we even ran some basic commands in the console. So stay tuned for more tutorials as we dive deeper into JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Thanks for watching and happy coding. I used to pour my soul into building websites only for no one to see them. It felt like shouting into the void. That's when I realized coding is only half the battle. If people can't find your work, it's like it never existed. That's why I created my 2025 SEO or Search Engine Optimization Essentials and Beyond Guide. It covers the newest search engine trends and proven strategies, so your projects actually get noticed. If you want your work to matter, check the link in the description.